Hey there guys, welcome back. Alex here. Today we're going to take a little bit of a different approach on my video. We're going to try to do some answers to your frequently asked questions. It has been just over 4 years now since I've uploaded my first video to YouTube, and those old videos are still uploaded. They're on there. I decided to leave them up there despite how old and corny and despite the horrible quality of the video as well. They're still there. But I thought about a lot of the questions that I get asked in the forum, and I try my best to answer all those questions and get back to you. But there's a lot I just can't get to. I'm a busy guy, and my Lego hobby usually comes kind of last in that priority list of life. So I'm going to take an opportunity here to answer some of those questions. I probably won't answer every single question, but more of those ones that I get on a regular basis, address them, and also my plans in the short term, and of course the long run here for the city of Zanderburg. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the first question. First question is this, and I get this from people who've been watching my channel for a long time and newcomers. They say, "Great city, Alex, but where are your trees?" Every good city has tall, green, mature trees. I agree with you. It really does, and I think it would really add a lot of character to the city. However, the problem is, and this is the problem with a lot of other things with Lego, is cost. Lego doesn't have a set that has a good-looking tree to my liking to meet that need. I've tried to support people on Lego Ideas who are building trees. I would vote for them 10,000 times if I could, but that hasn't happened yet. So that leaves me to look at private sellers or Pick a Brick. And whenever I look at that, it just gets way too expensive, because if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right, and I want to have trees all over the place. I don't want to have one tree here, one tree there. It's got to be all at once. So I'm looking at it, and hopefully in the near future something will happen and I'll have trees. But for now, yeah, the grass and occasional small trees and flowers are going to have to do. The next question that I get, and this is by far the most commonly asked question that I get on my channel, and it's a good suggestion, it's a good question. Alex, you should put in a subway system or some sort of subterranean transportation system. Very cool idea. When I think about that and I look at my city, I think, well, why? I don't need it. I've got a really good transportation system already set up. The infrastructure is pretty solid in my opinion. I've got the airport shuttle that moves from one side of the city to the other. I've got the railroad line that's a complete loop around the city with several train stations. I've got buses, taxi cabs. The road system is really, I think, is pretty fluid and allows people to drive from point A to point B relatively well. So, and also, it would be pretty hard to build it, because the way my tables are set up, it would have to be pretty low, like at least 10 inches down, which means completely rebuilding tables underneath, which is actually prime reaching distance for my 3/ going on 4-year-old now. So not a huge priority, mostly because of that, and I'd have to be pretty bored to do that. Pretty darn bored. But great suggestion, though. You never know, maybe someday. But for now, not really high on my priority list. A question that is actually pretty hard to answer is this. This is usually from people who don't really, are not familiar with Lego or haven't collected Lego for very long. And that is, how much did this cost, right? Because we all know Lego is expensive, and it's a very popular toy, especially since the Lego movie came out. It seems like every little kid wants a Lego set now. I don't know how much I've spent on it. I've collected Lego for close to 30 years now, guys. And anybody who's collected one thing for that long is going to have a lot of it. And it's not like we go out and we buy our collections overnight. It's slowly accumulated over time. I don't know how much it cost. I don't really know how much it's worth. I do have additional insurance on my homeowner's insurance, just in case my home were to burn down. I would be properly indemnified. But it's not like I can go and sell this and retire on the money I get from it. Okay, so it's not like that. But it's a good chunk of cash, but I don't really know how much. Do one more question, because this is getting kind of long here. The question is, Alex, when are you going to complete your skyscraper or the Octan Tower? This has been a project that I've wanted to do for quite some time. I referred to it in many of my previous videos, that I want to create a very large building that makes the Shmoo Tower look small. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the pieces to start this building, so I have to start from scratch. I have to buy all the elements from Pick-a-Brick or from Bricklink stores. So it represents a significant investment in money and time. So I'm looking at, I'm creating the blueprint of it in Excel right now, of creating like what pieces I need, how big I want it, how tall I want it, and so forth. So I don't know when it's going to happen. It's something that hopefully someday I'll be able to get going on, but we'll see. So hang in there. But in the meantime, I'll still have plenty of great video around the city to entertain you with. All right, as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have a question that I didn't answer, feel free to ask, or a suggestion on whatever you think you'd like to see in the city, please ask it. It doesn't hurt to ask. The worst that I can say is no, right? But what I'm most proud of is the fact that I'm able to take this large-scale city here and, for the most part, make it work, make it function together as like a real city as much as possible. I've got it compartmentalized here with, you have the train yard as its own table. You have the ocean here, the piers, the docks, and then of course that evolves into the downtown area here, the hub of activity. And then we go down to the residential area, which is a little more peaceful part of town, with churches and schools and gas stations, little farm there. It works out. And of course up here you have the recreational areas like the lake, which I love, and the racetrack over here in the deep dark corner. While I'm over here looking at the airport, this airport gets a little criticism because of its size. I don't really have a lot of space to work with, but I will say this, at least I have an airport, because airports are really tough to make work with a city because they do require space. But I'll keep working on that, trying to evolve it and see what we come up with, right? That's all we can really do. But we'll continue to keep working on this, making it bigger, better. This is an unfinished basement, and I don't have any plans on finishing it anytime soon. There are 2 levels above that accommodate my family's living needs, so you can expect this city to be in my basement for quite some time and continuing to make some good updates. What do we have here? My goodness. The Ecto-1 is out, and the Ghostbusters are investigating this woman who has decapitated this man. I guess Josh has been busy here. That is very interesting. I'll have to ask him what is going on. Anyway, glad he's having fun. All right, guys. Well, that is it for now. Enjoy your day, and I will see you in the very near future. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.